A bit of a decline in the Asian markets is what we started with, and that's exactly what we are trading right now. Remember, last week was 6% gains, and yesterday was a percentage point up as well. But today we haven't been able to hold on to those gains. Saudi Arabia is reiterating that 75% of crude production is back now, and they will be able to restore all of capacity by end of September, and they're sticking to that. Of course, there is some confusion. There have been some officials also saying that it might take 8 to 10 weeks as well. But at this point in time, the market does choose to go in. What is the official comment coming in from Saudi Arabia? The other thing really is about the manufacturing activity that we've seen come in from Germany and Eurozone, which is at multi-year low. So those are demand concerns coming back into the market, and that also seems to be taking some premium off the prices. Peter McGuire now joins us to discuss that further. Peter, hi. What has been your sense? It has been a very last 1 week, a very volatile last 1 week, so as to say. Some profit taking is back. Where do you see the prices moving from here on?
Well, good morning, Manisha. Yes, it certainly has been an incredible week when you put your mind back over the last 6 to 7 day trading days. I thought that, yes, naturally some profit taking because that one-off strike, there wasn't a continuation of them. They didn't roll out. There's been no further discussion or anything coming from either side, and naturally the markets are heading south. But that number coming out of Germany really was a wake-up call. The first time in 6 years below 50 for the German Composite Index really gave us a little bit of a surprise, and that's I think underpinning where we see as softness across many of those first stage markets.
What is the sense that you're getting out of Saudi Arabia now? Because that clearly could be the major mover. We've seen how markets could react to a news like that with the statements coming in, with U.S. increasing troops around that area. How are you putting premium to those developments?
Well, everyone thought that it was a little bit incredibly not only bullish, but to come out and say that you're going to have everything back within a matter of weeks after a major strike like that had taken out 6 or 7 million barrels of production. That was really, I think most traders were just gobsmacked. And now to say that you've got the better part of everything up and, be up and running by the end of the month, everything will be back on track, I think that's even, still not really sure. Is that really the situation? Many traders are saying you'll probably be closer to the end of the year or could even be well into January. So that's the general consensus out there. But if that's what the market's saying, then that's what the market does. As far as US and building up troops and so on, don't forget that President Trump and his mandate getting into power was certainly to remove his armed forces from that Middle East region and really be not a warmonger in the Middle East. But let's just see what happens over the next matter of months or weeks, if there's going to be further attacks, and that President Trump's stance may have to change.
So, in the light of all of that, what is your sense then on where the prices could be moving? Because the last week has been very volatile. We've seen perhaps the lower and the higher side of the range. Do you see prices moving within this, or is there more cautious really in movements?
Well, I think I'm not suggesting you're going to see wild whipsawing unless something dramatic happens from a geopolitical front and further strikes. So the way that most traders are looking at it at the moment is that there'll be a consolidation phase, could end up a little bit lower from here. This time last week we were saying, are there going to be further strikes? This time this week it seems to be, worrying about the German and French numbers, having a look as far as what's happening with China, all of those moving parts to get some sort of consideration as far as where do we see prices moving forward. And over the next couple of weeks, they may consolidate at these sort of levels unless we see something dramatic happen from a geopolitical standpoint.